The Surfing Violinist presents Doldrums Desperation, Surf Vlog 46. Well, October wasn't great for surf. We had Hurricane Milton right in the wake of Helene, and almost everyone agreed that this thing was going to be a monster of devastation and huge surf. Thankfully, it was not as bad as it could have been in terms of devastation, but we still expected a bit more surf than we got. I got a few longboard sessions out of it, not much to write home about. I was perhaps even less consistent with paddling in October than September, thanks in part to a bout of sickness and trying to recalibrate my schedule after the film. And the doldrums were not great for surf morale. So forgive me, brothers, but I have not kept it consistent, even when the surf wasn't. Finally, after one too many days without a rideable wave, Mohit and I decided it was time to bite the bullet and hit the road. So one Saturday we did just that. I decided to take a gamble and bring the Inferno 72, which had served me well during the Helene leftovers. On the way over, I started to realize that my headache was perhaps more than a consequence of one too many drinks at the prior night's violin gig, and might actually be a sign of some kind of head cold. When we arrived in Pensacola, there was definitely a bigger wave than back home. The wind was howling side offshore, and my thin skin was not really stoked on the combo of cool wind and lukewarm water. I didn't last long, and I didn't catch many waves that first session, but the water color was exquisite. Our watercolor had taken a hit from the storms with a lot of churned up runoff and pine needle tannin outflow, so this was a sight for surf-starved eyes. For session 2, I put on my 4.3. That's how much I was shivering. I don't know if it was the sickness that made me feel so cold or what, but I tell you, the 4.3 felt pretty good. I got to see one of the OGs get a nice one and gave me a little baptism. Another dude found a dumpy little tube section over a shallow section of sandbar, so I tried to follow his lead and see if I could get a view or at least work on pig dog stance in the pocket. All told, Mohit was energized by the trip, and while I think my head cold was not helped by the experience, I agree with him that the risk was worth the reward. The Emerald Coast may not always yield the optimal wave shape, size, or power, but it's pretty hard to be a surf Scrooge when we get to bask in these views of such radiant splendor. And speaking of radiant splendor, we did get a little bit of a wave in time for Halloween. I was dealing with a particularly frustrating obstacle at work, trying to link Mr. Surf's Facebook page to our web store, and John called and told me to take a break and join them at the state park to enjoy some beautiful longboard lines. We even got to do the double angle thing. And we got another little bump on Halloween proper. A little bit larger, but then my GoPro went on the fritz and I didn't get much more footage. As far as my own surf progress goes, I'm still noticing again and again strange posture issues with both arms, especially backside. Frontside, the flailing overaction continues on many waves, especially when I'm trying to generate speed. I keep studying other locals' approaches, especially Warren, whose hand placement almost looks like he's conducting a symphony playing Debussy, just all smooth flowing motions without the clenched fists and akimbo angles. There's no one right style, of course, in surfing, and beauty is in the eye of the beholder and all that, but I do notice how my idiosyncratic motions often get me off balance or stiff and compromise promising opportunities on a wave. So having a library of photos and video of local surfers navigating the highs and lows of our fickle Gulf Coast surf has proven very useful. In September and October, when I had a break away from work that was not surf related, I did fit in some skateboarding. I was inspired by a clip Jesse posted on Insta in which he launched a clean fly-out air from our snake run at the park to try to work on my ollie and air game. I constantly suffer from a rocket air style approach to ollies in which I never level the ollie out properly and land in an off-balance kind of manual, so seeing Jesse's Insta post gave me something to think about as I worked on it. It's going to take a lot more front-of-mind attention to get my old habits to die here. On October 26th, I was able to join Jesse and enjoy the fruits of the labor of the local legend of backyard mini-ramp Slore, Bo, with his new addition to his already super fun and functional mini-ramp that he has only improved in the months since my last visit. Jesse was cooking, and I was stewing. I'm not trying to push anything here. At the end of hurricane season, I got to keep my skating innovation close to the chest because, as it would turn out, November was going to be a pretty good month for surf. In skim news, I saw that Dayton was selling one of his old trusty carbon skimboards by a brand called Soul, which I didn't even know about. It was a bit longer than my current board, so I snagged it up and took it for a spin during one of the insanely surreal electric sunsets our area has to offer. Stoked on this board and stoked on this view. Until next time, I too will try to follow my own advice and keep it consistent, even if the surf isn't. Godspeed ex-Howleys in training. To see these videos early, without ads, join the lineup here on YouTube. You just need a YouTube account And for $1.99 a month, you click this little join button and sign up to get early and ad-free access to 4 monthly vlogs: the surf vlog, the violin vlog, the Masala vlog, and the family vlog. Thank you very much.